Great. Hi, everyone, and welcome, and thank you so much for joining us today. Today, together with Salesforce, we're diving into how you can revolutionize membership payments by bringing them right into the heart of your Salesforce journey. We've got a fantastic lineup. I'm really pleased to have Claire James from National Trust with us. She's going to share their transformation story. Joseph Devine from Salesforce will explore how the platform supports membership organizations. And then I'll be walking us through how we solve payment challenges with a live demo to show it in action at the end of our time together. We're then going to wrap up the time with your questions. So there is a Q&A functionality as part of this tool. So feel free to drop any questions in as you go through, as we go throughout this. And I'll be making sure we get some time to share those questions at the end. But thank you for joining. And so let me dive in. It's so great to be with you today. My name's Dan Kingsley. I lead FinDock's Industry Solutions, and I'm really looking forward to this session as it's a topic that applies to a wide range of organizations. Whether you're running a professional association, a gym, a leisure centre, a political party, a club, or a large-scale membership organization like the National Trust, we hope today will help. At their core, all membership organizations are all trying to do the same thing: build long-term relationships and keep people engaged over time, growing their membership base. But there's one part of that journey that often gets overlooked, and that's payments. When payments aren't working well, when renewals are manual, when failed payments fall through the cracks, or when finance and membership systems aren't talking to each other, the whole member experience starts to break down. And that's when we see issues like internal inefficiencies and manual processes, low retention rates and failed payments, and a general lack of clarity around visibility, what's actually going on with your members and their payments due to disconnected systems. These challenges aren't just back office operations problems, they also affect the entire member experience, leading to dissatisfaction, which leads to churn at renewal time. But when payments are brought into your core systems, when they're integrated directly into Salesforce, everything starts to change. You get visibility, you can automate, you can personalize, and most importantly, you can start treating payments as part of the journey, not a separate process to work around. And that's what today is all about, showing you what that looks like in practice. You're going to hear from Claire in just a moment at the National Trust, sharing their journey and what they've learned along the way as they've transformed their whole membership technology stack. Then we'll unpack how Salesforce and FinDock help make that possible. And I'll be back to show you a demo at the end of how all that works. So with that, let's jump into the story. And I'm going to hand over to Claire to introduce herself and share a bit more about National Trust's membership transformation. Claire.
Thank you, Dan. Good afternoon, everybody. Yeah, I'm Claire James. I'm the delivery lead for Salesforce here at the National Trust. Myself and my team are responsible primarily day-to-day for the running of our membership, fundraising and finance platform. But we also played a key role during the initial programme and the transformation of our membership system. I'm very proud to say National Trust have supported membership since 1945, so 80 years ago. We had 7,850 members in 1990, which was 35 years ago, would you believe? We celebrated 2 million members, and as of today we've now got an active membership base of 5.37 million members. We're really keen to keep engaged and obviously engage supporters with our cause, which is around nature, beauty and history. So we embarked on our transformation programme about 4 years ago now. It was actually 2019 was when we sort of initially got the briefing and the business case raised and all of the funding and supporting arranged to start us off on our transformation journey. So we spent a lot of time planning and setting our goals around what we wanted the new platform to be. Certainly, our current platform was no longer fit for purpose. We had a huge amount of technical debt. It wasn't sustainable. We weren't able to provide the membership products that we'd really like to in order to enable people to engage most relevantly with our organisation and realise their membership benefits. So We selected Salesforce as our new CRM platform after considering other alternative solutions, and we felt it would give us the most we needed in terms of our future goals for membership. We primarily wanted something that was kind of, particularly around our payment solution, we wanted something that was native with Salesforce, something that was API driven, something that was easily integratable, and something that us as an organization could seamlessly maintain and support going forward and not incur any further technical debt. We've got a big demand on our platform. As I've said, we've got 5.37 million members. So monthly, that translates to us for 265k approximately monthly renewals. Particularly now we're getting into Easter in the summer, we'll see that peak increasing. And typically on a month, we are taking 2.8 million payments. That's through direct debits. That's both the annual and monthly direct debit propositions currently. So obviously we're keen to support our members, and we have quite a few engagement points for members to talk to us about their membership. That's either through visiting our beautiful properties, or it can be calling us through the call centre. And additionally, we've got an online proposition. So really, we are really increasing our outreach to members. Primarily there, our goal was initially for the what we're calling the minimum viable product, which we went live with in January 2023, was to mainly give us some benefits in terms of our operational efficiency, enhancing that membership experience. And obviously, if you saw in the press recently, in January 2025, we announced a 10-year strategy to get us up to 2035 and what our goals were. So that was the kickoff for the transformation journey and why we started and what our needs were. In terms of how we achieved our goal, because we have been live with our membership solution since 2023, we led a very tight program team. We got our business owners and stakeholders engaged from day one. We had our senior sponsorship from the organisation, and we had very regular meetings with all of our team as we worked through our requirements to work through, build, test, and eventually get us to a point where we had achieved a data migration to our new platform. I can tell you that in terms of during the transformation journey at the peak, we delivered 1,000 user stories. We had 22 business journeys which covered all fundraising, finance, memberships, as well as a traditional CRM model. We were servicing our call center as well as our online propositions, and like I said, equipping properties to give members a better engagement when they visited. So we've considered this it's been a very successful transformational journey for us. We are in a position now where we are able to adequately support our next 10-year strategy in terms of building better connections with nature, beauty, history. We want to inspire millions and ask them to care for our environment and take action where they can. And we also recognise that with our transformation, we are in a strong position now to be able to review and renew our current ways of working, both with supporters, volunteers, and our staff, and adapt and change in a world that's changing fast. So obviously we mentioned FinDock has been our selected solution to support payments of membership. And I just want to say, really, in terms of that FinDock engagement, they were bolted in from the start. We had these regular touch points with themselves, making sure that everything that was being delivered met our requirements. And obviously we saw that in FinDock was very responsive and aligned to our non-profit industry. So that was why we went. That's why we went with them. If we go to the next slide, please, Dan. So, like I said, the program was delivered over 3 years. We went live January 2023. Huge program, 160 people were involved. So here we are now. We've gone through kind of 18 months of hypercare. We're now in a very much operational BAU position, but we are not stopping. We are looking at the opportunities now to be able to better engage with our supporters and support us through our cause. We're looking for better and more adaptive and more flexible membership and gift membership optimizations for the future. So people, we've always had a traditional model of people, subscribing to a 4 years membership, but we're hoping now to be able to open up to different types of membership, depending on people's requirements, if they want to just, visit particular properties or locations, or they want to, just like a month membership, for example, over the summer. So we're looking at all of that, and this platform will enable us to be able to enhance the experience for our supporters through the memberships we're able to offer. From a business and technical perspective, obviously we're excited that we're now on a scalable platform which has been architectured for further growth, and certainly in line with our 10-year strategy. We definitely expect to be using the platform to help us leverage those strategy initiatives. So yeah, I think that's everything from myself. So I'm going to hand you over now to Joseph to talk more about the membership solutions through Salesforce.
Brilliant. Thank you, Claire. I appreciate that. So I'm Joseph, one of the account leads at Salesforce. I've been working with a variety of membership organizations for a long period of time and work with the National Trust now on a daily basis, which is really, really satisfying to see what they've achieved and to see how they're now scaling based on technology, which lets them adapt and be agile and nimble rather than traditional siloed systems. Some of you will know Salesforce looking at the audience, but at Salesforce, we're really, really proud to be the most widely used CRM in the world. So that gives us huge, it gives us huge volume at one level, but it means we've got lots of different organizations using us for different sorts of things. So we've got membership, whether it's for-profit membership, political membership, charitable membership, like the Trust. We have all different types of membership organizations working with us, from very small to very large, which is absolutely brilliant. Dan, the next slide, please. So one of the key things at Salesforce, we've always been a cloud provider. We're 26 years old this year. So throughout those 25, 26 years, we've always driven innovation. We've always been bringing new technology to the market, both through acquisition of technologies and by bringing our own development of in-house technology, so that it really gives us a huge breadth of capabilities. So that when you're thinking about your member, it's like, well, how do we manage the membership? How do we transact it, which we'll talk about in a minute with FinDock? But then how can we engage with them? How can we take them on a journey? But then actually, how can we integrate different things? So there's this innovation has really given our customers much, much more capability to do more with this common technology set, rather than having lots of silos, lots of integrations, and lots of different things. Now, the next slide, please, Dan, because Claire talked about the trust scale and about the volume. So, 2.8 million payments per month is really big. Many membership organizations would love to have that volume. They'd love to have the 265,000 members going through each month. But the key thing with Salesforce is because of our scale, actually, when you look at what we do in 24 hours, so if you look at, I love this slide. It's a day in the life of Salesforce. 283 billion predictions of Einstein, which is one of our AI tools. 7.6 billion messages through MuleSoft, which is our integration layer. 3.1 million commerce orders. 655 million commerce views. 118 million reports run. This is all on that daily basis. And it just shows the scale that we have in our platform, the scale that we put through our multi-tenant cloud. And the important thing for the trust is, we were chatting with their group financial controller the other week, and it works. They're trusting us to do the payments for them. They're trusting us to put all of their membership payments, all of their direct debits through, from the database through the payment to the bank to then reconcile. And that's absolutely huge. So that then means for someone like FinDock, so FinDock's one of our partners who've built their payment engine and their payment technology on our back end. So they are standing on the shoulders of giants. So they've got the same scale, they've got the same performance as Salesforce. It's not like they're taking the data from National Trust, processing it over there, and then bringing it back. It's all running on that one platform. So this is really important for someone like the National Trust, because it means they've got a membership system with fundraising, with payments, and with the payment provider, all on one set of technology, which is really, really powerful. Next slide, please, Dan. So what we've done at Salesforce, and many of you have seen this before, we call it the 360. So if you're thinking about a member, you want to be able to sell to them in the first instance. You want them to get them on a journey so they sign up as a member for your organization. You then want to cross-sell. You then want to be more proactive with them. You want to engage with them, and you want to sell them more stuff, really get the value out of them whilst making sure they value you as an organization. So this is where our circle of technologies, whether it's the CRM, whether it's the service, whether it's marketing, whether it's commerce, all of these elements come together in a deeply unified platform. So you don't have to worry about, well, how do I integrate that? How do I bring this across? It's all together in one. And this is why, again, Salesforce doesn't have an out-the-box payment engine, which is why FinDock is so important, because it connects into that unified platform so that when the payments are ready to be taken, whether it be an annual membership, a monthly membership, a one-off payment to visit a property, whatever your organization is and trying to do with membership and grow the transaction of the memberships, FinDock will be there to support you. So it's just a really, really powerful suite of applications trying to put the member at the center of what you do. And then when it comes to the payments, FinDock will be there reliably to transact it and then help you reconcile it, which again is another set of technology all in itself. So let me pass to Dan and we go from there.
Amazing. Thank you, Joseph. And thank you, Claire. It's so great to hear the story that National Trust have been on. And it clearly shows that payments are more than just a back office task. They're part of that member journey. They affect whether someone signs up or joins, whether they renew, whether they upgrade, and how they stay engaged. And when they're done well, they don't just bring in revenue, they build trust, they save time, unlock future growth. At FinDock, we think about this in two parts. There are two sides of a membership payment coin: the member payment experience and the organization payment operations. Get both of these right, and you heard this in Claire's story and how they do things at National Trust. You create something powerful, a seamless, flexible journey for your members, and a scalable, efficient engine for your teams and organization. And if both of these sides of a coin are so evident in the National Trust's goals and their solution, it's both sides of this coin that are needed to make and take your membership to the next level. So let's start with the member. Whether they're signing up for the first time, they're renewing after a few years away, maybe they're switching membership types or updating their accreditation status, that journey almost always involves a payment moment. And in that moment, people want it to be simple, no hoops to jump through. They want it to be instant, especially when using mobile or online. They want it to be reliable, no errors, definitely no duplicate charges. We've heard the horror stories of members getting charged multiple times. They want it to be flexible with modern payment methods like National Trust adding Google Pay and Apple Pay recently, or maybe still traditional methods like your bank transfer and your direct debits, which are kind of foundations to membership payments. But too often, payments are disconnected and lead to poor member experiences. People end up getting multiple reminders, or they pay and it still shows as lapsed in the member portal. Or they want to upgrade, but they can't complete it smoothly on their phone. And this is where FinDock, together with Salesforce, with that Member 360 that Joseph was talking about, makes a big difference solving these challenges. Because we manage payments within Salesforce. And when you do that, you can trigger journeys with Salesforce Marketing Cloud when a payment is made, which about 90% of our customers do. You can update membership statuses automatically following payments, and I'll show you that a little bit later on in my demo. You can retry or notify if something fails, a payment fails, and we've seen customers reduce failures by 60% doing this. And you can offer modern mobile-first payment methods like Apple Pay or PayPal. And we've seen from our customers that the time to add new methods is reduced by over 50%. It's all connected to the member record. No separate systems or manual checks required. Amazing member experiences, increasing your member retention, increasing your signups, enabling your growth, and giving your members the best overall experience possible. But now, if we flip the coin, because member happiness also depends on happy teams and your organization and how well your internal operations run. And this is where things get messy behind the scenes for many organizations. Maybe there's manual and error-prone reconciliation. Maybe you've got teams chasing down failed payments, siloed views between finance, support, and membership, duplication of effort and data, and growing admin as you scale. And FinDock, alongside Salesforce, gives your team so much. Automated processes for mandate management, recurring payment processing, payment method changes, as well as gift aid if you're based in the UK and you're a non-profit, as well as all your reconciliation with your bank and all that data automatically flowing into Salesforce. You've got intelligent retries, as well as giving your members the option to pay via alternative payment methods. You've got real-time tracking across all your different methods and gateways, with our customers reporting 156% improvement in data quality. You've got a single source of data for all your memberships and your payment data all together, all from the same place, all in Salesforce. And crucially, fewer errors, fewer delays, and a lot less stress. We saw from Claire earlier that they're saving about 70% of their time doing their direct debit runs each month compared to how they were doing things previously. It's not just about delivering a great front-end member experience. It's about freeing up your people to focus on value, not repetitive tasks, saving revenue, and increasing your effectiveness. And when you put these two sides together, member experience and operational excellence, that's when things really start to click and you get true member payment happiness. And that's what makes FinDock different. It's not just a processor add-on. It's not just a finance tool. It's a complete native Salesforce layer that bridges the front and the back office for your member processes. Excellent operations and excellent experiences. And together, that transforms your organization. It reduces churn, enables your members to keep on being members because they're enjoying their engagement with you, and enables you to grow your membership, make that sign-up process and flow much easier. And we saw that with Natural Trust. They made it easier for members to donate and renew as they launched Apple Pay and Google Pay earlier this year. They also streamlined their internal processes, all that batch processing for their back direct debit submission, saving significant time and enabling the future growth and scale that they are setting themselves up for. So I just want to spend a few moments to talk you through some of this, show you a couple of small examples. I'm going to walk through two common membership journeys, both focused on renewals. One focused on a quick manual renewal and the other switching to recurring payments. Both are powered by FinDock directly inside Salesforce. So the first journey, let me pull up this record. And just to say, this is a very simplified membership view. I've tried to keep things simple, not to overwhelm everyone on this call if you've never seen Salesforce before. But this first member, a guy called Eric, is on an annual plan with manual renewal. As their renewal date approaches, they're automatically sent a personalized email from Salesforce. And this could easily be done as an SMS or via their member portal, via a notification there. And this email we can see, obviously, it's just a very simple one here. And from this email, they're able to instantly click through and make a payment. So if we go and do that, I'm just going to give this a refresh since I had it loaded for a little while. We've got a £240 annual membership renewal. We can just go through and make this simple payment. I'm going to use a Stripe sandbox with some test card details just to process this payment really quickly just now. Once that payment is processed, Eric's renewal is going to automatically kick in. That's going to trigger an update in Salesforce in real time. The payment is processed, their member status gets updated, a thank you message and confirmation is sent out, and their next renewal journey is automatically triggered. So if I come back and give this screen a quick refresh, we will see we now have an extra payment for this year. The end date has been extended by another year, and we've sent out a confirmation to Eric to thank him for that renewal. But now let's look at a different scenario. Here we've got a member called Julie. Instead of making a one-time payment, we decide to send out a specific email to Julie, offering her the option to switch to monthly direct debit and an automatic renewal. We think that this will make it easier for Julie. She's had failed payments in the past potentially. And from here, we're going to automatically switch this membership to a membership plan, schedule the future payments, and enable her to automatically have that membership renewed. So very similar flow, but this time we are going to give her the option to turn this into a monthly £20 membership. We're going to do it via direct debit. I'm going to enter some test direct debit details and switch to monthly. As simple as that. Julie's membership will now turn from this annual manual renewal into a monthly direct debit where that continues to be charged. If I come back into Salesforce, we will see that it has now moved to an automatic monthly membership. We've got a recurring payment setup connected to this, which FinDock will automatically collect each month. And we now have no end date as this continues indefinitely. And we've confirmed this in an email out to Julie. FinDock handles direct debit runs automatically. Claire talked about this earlier. So across all of our recurring payment methods, we go across the system and pick up any payments that need collecting and submit them over for collection. We do that on high volume. We also handle organizations doing much smaller volumes of payments, all directly from Salesforce, all fully automated. So there we go. Two very different journeys, but both show how FinDock connects the experience, making it really smooth for your members and the operation side of payments. You're giving members flexibility and clarity, and you're giving your teams the tools and automation they need to scale. That's the power of managing payments inside Salesforce. And that's what FinDock makes possible, all leading you to be able to reduce your member churn and grow your membership. We'd love to help you find out more about how you can do that and help you can transform your own organization. But thank you for listening. Really appreciate particularly Claire and Joseph, your involvement and your sharing your stories and how Salesforce is helping here. We'd love to have some questions. I've already seen a couple come in, but please do use the Q&A functionality to add any other questions. We'll stick around and answer those as we go through. But let me jump in and start with a couple that have come in so far. Maybe first one for Claire, if that's all right. Mm-hmm. Claire, can you share maybe what Salesforce clouds and functionality you're using for your membership solution at National Trust?
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, supporters are at the forefront and the primary thinking for our platform. So obviously we've got our core Salesforce Service Cloud, which is offering us the membership capability. We've got the CPQ and MPSP for components alongside that to assist with our membership quoting and pricing and membership payment management. We are obviously, as you say, Joseph, we obviously engage our supporters when they sign up for a membership, if they're renewing or they're giving a donation. We've got a really core and central service communications platform to acknowledge people for their donations, and that's driven out of Marketing Cloud deployment. We're obviously also using that to promote and market our campaigns around native beauty history as well. We've gone a little bit further too. So not only do we want to give people a great member experience in terms of their payments for memberships, we're also progressing into Marketing Intelligence Cloud, Data Cloud, which we're hoping will give us some more insights as to how supporters and members are engaging with the National Trust. And again, that will inform on what future memberships products we'll be able to offer and enable them to make the most of their membership benefits and engage with us in every way that they would be interested to do. So I hope that, and obviously we've got depending on the number of ISVs, including FinDock for payment systems. But from a technical perspective, we're also using one of the Salesforce native apps for all of our software deployments to enable that transformation journey to continue. And obviously we've got an online payment gateway, which you demonstrated. So hopefully that answers the question and gives you an idea.
Maybe just a quick follow-up that's come in. Do you have an internal team managing this? Do you have a Salesforce partner that helped do your transformation for you, if you're able to share?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, so we did engage with an implementation partner who worked us through the whole of the program to obviously start from the initial design concept of what the business goals and outcomes were through to the design, the build, the deployment, the transition, the go live. So we worked with an implementation partner throughout. Obviously, as an organization, we didn't have those key skills and technical expertise. So yeah, we found it beneficial to work with an implementation partner who had that additional knowledge with us. Yeah.
Great, thanks, Claire. Maybe a question for Joseph. It wouldn't be a Salesforce webinar without mentioning Agentforce. What do you see the role of Agentforce for membership organizations in particular?
Yeah, so Agentforce is our new, well, it's not new, but it's the evolution of our Einstein technology, so that it is an agentic system to augment what people are doing. All membership organizations are under so much pressure financially. They need to do more with less. So Agentforce is all about helping organizations do more with less. How can you use an agentic system to do those laborious administrative tasks so that then actually your people can be freed up to do the higher value, more important things? So that's what we're seeing people do. We're working with the trust on it. We're working with other both non-profit and for-profit membership organizations around sort of inquiries, membership, routing, concierge, all of these sorts of things. And then for yourselves, there's so much pain around reconciliation and many of the finance processes. So how can Agentforce help with some of that back end stuff as well?
Yeah, great. Thank you, Joseph. Maybe I'll just jump in with a couple of examples from a FinDock point of view as well, as we've already started having customers explore and use Agentforce. We're excited to see, just like those demos I showed you with renewals, the ability to have an online member agent help someone we knew, maybe switch payment method, give you an update on your outstanding invoices and things like that. So we're really excited with a lot of these processes, both on the experience side for the member engaging with an organization, as well as on the operational side, where we really see Agentforce playing a key role in the future. Question for Claire, maybe what's been kind of the internal feedback like from your teams?
So from a business perspective, a lot of excitement, a lot of confidence. They've really seen quite early on the benefits of our new transformative platform, enabling, as I said, future growth and being able to engage supporters in a much more dynamic way, both for fundraising and for memberships. Certainly in terms of the 10-year strategy that was announced in January, a lot of the platform has given the confidence to be able to challenge ourselves and set higher and bigger goals over the next 10 years in terms of promoting the cause and being able to raise funds to initiate some of these big projects. And internally, from a technical perspective, of course, techies love, they love the new technology. They love trialing, doing proof of concepts, and we're obviously in terms of the benefits of the efficiencies and how easy it is to run our payment solutions. They're also very excited at this, and enables them to grow and learn more about the technology as well.
Great, thank you. We've had a couple of questions in around sizes and also geographical kind of support, which I think probably both Joseph and I can answer in terms of, we've got a question around specific country functionality. FinDock works globally with specific focus on all of countries in Europe, as well as the US and Canada. And we've got many customers in each of those countries and regions, and we offer very localized support for different payment methods. Today I showed you a lot of the UK payment methods like your direct debit, your PayPal, as well as like things like instant bank pay was on the screen, I think, but we've also got local payment methods in Sweden, local payment methods in Italy. We support ACH in the US. So lots of very localized support for your organization in the country that you're based in. But Joseph, I wonder if you can speak into a little bit around kind of size of organizations using the Salesforce platform.
Yeah, I mean, we have full scale of customers across all territories. Perhaps, I don't know, Dan, if Carl can let you know which organization they're from offline, we can then connect them up with the right people. We have lots of non-profits in Sweden. We have lots of for-profits. From large energy companies through to UNICEFs, through to all sorts. So I think it'd be good to just know who, but absolutely, we have a large Nordic business. Some of my colleagues from our Nordic business are in as attendees, I notice, so we'll be able to connect them up.
Yeah, great, thank you. And then there are some questions that are specifically payment related. I see a question around the difference between payments and donations and how FinDock handles them. I also see a question around kind of credit notes and kind of under and over payments. I'll answer a couple of those, but obviously really happy to delve deeper into each of your requirements offline as well. But from a FinDock point of view, FinDock's been born in the non-profit space. We've been going 10 years, and many of our early customers are all sizes and shapes of non-profits. And then over the last few years, we've expanded rapidly into all sorts of other industries, from insurance to the breadth of membership to energy organizations. And so from our point of view, whether you're accepting a donation or you're taking a membership payment or you're updating your insurance policy, all of them have payment processing sitting underneath all of that. And the experience for the customer, whether they're a donor, a member, or a policyholder, all remains the same. It's the messaging, but the way they want to make those payments is the same. And so we handle all of them. The breadth of that, we have significant focus on recurring payments, which is obviously a really key factor for membership. The more of your members that you can have on recurring payment processing, the better, because then memberships are more likely to automatically renew and all of that. And yes, FinDock also has full support for things like under and overpayments, credit. If someone was to change their membership, let's say, and you now have some credit, we're able to support that functionality and able to use that against a future payment and things like that as well. I think that's the majority of questions answered as we've kind of gone through. If I've missed any, I apologize. I'll review back through the questions at the end and make sure we come back to you. But really appreciate everyone's time. Again, thank you, Claire. Thank you, Joseph, for your input. And yeah, we'd love to speak to and connect with anyone further. So if you've got more questions, feel free to reach out to us. But thank you, everyone, for listening.